This is Peter Carter covering the UN COP26 Glasgow 26 United Nations Climate Convention Conference, and I'm a bit late in this, so this is rather retrospect. This is edited extracts of a pretty fine speech by the UN Climate Convention Executive Secretary Patricia Espinosa, which she gave to open COP26 on the first day. She had some powerful statements, one of which is that we either choose to recognize that business as usual isn't worth the devastating price we're paying and make the necessary transition to a more sustainable future, or we accept that we're investing in our own future extinction. Yes, indeed, there's no question about that one.
It is now my pleasure to invite Ms. Patricia Espinosa, UNFCCC Executive Secretary, to address the plenary.
Colleagues, dear friends, we stand at a pivotal point in history. Humanity faces stark but clear choices. We either choose to achieve rapid and large-scale reductions of emissions to keep the goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees, or we accept that humanity faces a bleak future on this planet. We either choose to boost adaptation efforts to deal with current extreme weather disasters and build resilience to address future impacts, or we accept that more people will die, more families will suffer, and more economic harm will follow. We either choose to recognize that business as usual is not worth the devastating price we're paying and make the necessary transition to a more sustainable future, or we accept that we are investing in our own extinction. The recently updated UN Climate Change NDC synthesis report showed that emissions continue to rise. Let us be clear, without the necessary support, we will not be able to embark on the transformations needed to achieve the 1.5-degree goal. A clear path to solutions exists. I call upon all parties to recapture the spirit of multilateralism that resulted in the adoption of the Paris Agreement and fulfill their commitments under it. Success is possible because we have the science. The data is unequivocal. Climate change is widespread, rapid, intensifying, and already impacting every region on Earth, on land, and in the ocean. But one number stands out above all others. We must limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees. The IPCC, the NDC synthesis report, and the emissions gap report all tell us, however, that we are not on that path. I call upon all parties to use science to inform their decisions at COP26 and act upon it. Dear colleagues, the transition that we need is beyond the scope, scale, and speed of anything humanity has accomplished in the past. It is a daunting task, but humanity is a species defined by its ingenuity. Let ours be an era defined by the prosperity of the many rather than the short-term gain of the few. Let ours be an era in which we have healthier relationships with nature. Let ours be an era in which we protect our land, oceans, and biodiversity. I encourage you to consider the choices that we must make and the trust vested in you by billions. Let us rise to the enormous challenge of our time, this pivotal point in history, and achieve success for not just our present generation, but all generations to come. Thank you.